I'm chatting with AppleCare right now to see if I can get my power supply on my MacBook Pro replaced. I've got about one more month on my warranty, and the cable's beginning to come frayed, and I'm not sure it's covered because it could just be normal wear and tear, but it's worth a shot. Well, we're having a special meal for Tedium Unlimited number 200. We've come to Genghis Grill, where we've had Genghisly grilled food. It's pretty good. Well, here's a special just for episode 200. I love my Bose noise-canceling headphones. I mean, they really are. They're great for doing work on the podcast or editing these videos. It just tunes everybody out. They're fairly comfortable. They work on my iPhone or they work on my computer. They've actually got a microphone, so when I use them on my phone, I can take calls with them. And rather cleverly, the unit at the bottom comes out so that if you yank on them too hard, it doesn't damage the cable. Or if it did damage the cable, you could replace it easily. And then there's an alternate one for, say, a different type of phone. But with Camp Quest stuff, I have board meeting itself and executive committee meetings and strategic planning meetings and policy committee meetings and heck, I don't know, I can't remember how many damn meetings I'm on, and they run up to 2 hours each, and so we're talking 8 hours a month on the phone, and which is unheard of for me. I have never been a phone person. I hate being on the phone. Phone and I do not get along. And I'll be wearing these headphones and I'll be pacing around the room because that's what I do. And I'll keep getting caught and I'm yanking the cord out in the middle of the meetings. And I know I'm going to cause some problems if I don't do something about it. And so if I'm going to be using the phone, I might as well do it right. And then, so I now have this, Plantronics Voyager Legend Bluetooth headset. I am now officially on the path to being a Cyberman. And I haven't opened it yet. I'm not going to do an unboxing video, but this one is, not only is it a rechargeable Bluetooth headset, but it comes with a case for the Bluetooth headset that has a battery in it, and so it actually charges from the case. So you charge up the case, and when you're done with a headphone, you put it in the case, protects it, and it charges at the same time. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on. One of the lessons I learned the other day when we did our commentary episode, and this is, all right, this is no revelation. I knew this anyway because I have done some podcasts where I've had two people in the same room, and there's bleed over and one on the mics, and not saying that this completely ends this problem, but one of the things I don't have is adequate acoustic shielding. So I have purchased this acoustic shield here, and it's an isolation shield, so when you get in here, the sound is a lot deader, and you don't get sound coming through. And of course, I'm still getting sound coming through from behind. Anyway, let me just show you how this is set up. So the shield is got acoustic foam, and which is baffled to deaden the sound, and then and I put the whole thing together, and I'm thinking I might disassemble some of it. It does collapse for storage because it's kind of big. It sits on 3 feet, and then it's got this extension that comes out, and then it has a boom that fits into a standard microphone thread, which is quite big. Now, if we look around on the other side, it's got this clamp for going on a stand. Well, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, it's got these clamps to go on a stand. That was, I had to put that on, and I had to build this thing on here. And the fact is, I'm beginning to wonder if I'm not going to take it off, or at least pull it off to the side so it's not used. Because if I put my microphone on its standard base in here, right now I've got one of my blue Yeti microphones mounted, but normally it sits in this base. And I think if I put it back in the base and just swing this out of the way, or take it off or whatever, that'll work just as fine, and it'll be a little easier to be more portable. So I may do that. And then I don't need the clamp on the back, because I'm not going to, at least not in the near-term future, mount it to any kind of equipment. So in a way, probably shouldn't have bothered to put the stuff on. But I did. So now I can take it back off. I have been delaying this video for days. And the reason I've been delaying this video for days is because this is episode 200. 200 episodes of Tedium Unlimited. And it's, it should be a big deal, but it's not a big deal. All week has been dull as milk toast. And I don't even know what milk toast is. I think it's toast soaked in milk, which sounds disgusting, I have to say. Anyway, soaked in butter. Now that's toast, but soaked in... No. Anyway, so I used the acoustic isolation shield, and it's definitely not cutting... It's not soundproof. Let's put it that way. It's not designed to block... I mean, it does block some sound coming to it from behind, but what it really does is it keeps my voice, when it goes into it, from bouncing back into the mic. And so when I'm listening to it, it's really weird. It's like you have no echo. There's a natural resonance that you get when you're talking, when it bounces back to you, and you'll know it when you walk into like an empty room, and when you talk and suddenly there's like an echo, or you walk into some place that's extremely deadened, and then you don't get anything. I mean, normally it's just a fraction, but your mind knows it's there and has trained it. And when you hit that, it's an odd feeling. And I've recorded 2 podcasts since I got it, and with the headphones on. And of course, I'm getting the sound through the mic put back into my ears, and the headphones are noise canceling. So all I'm getting is what the mic's picking up, and it's an odd feeling that there's no delay between when I speak and what I hear. Anyway, so I think it's working. I think it hopefully makes it sound better. And then what you do is you add that back in so that you create the illusion that you're in an actual room instead of a studio. Isn't that clever of audio engineers? Oh, anyway. I also had a ridiculously long Camp Quest board meeting this week because it was elections. And partially my fault because I was running part of it, a discussion part, and that went on a long time. And so I got to use the Bluetooth headset, no problem whatsoever. This headset's supposed to have, I think, a 17-hour talk time. And you can see the little case glowing. Yeah, there we go. See the flashing lights? All right, there were flashing lights, I promise you. That's the status indicator on the battery and the status indicator. And if you look very closely right there's some contacts. Yeah. And when you put the headphone in on its charging port there, it charges it back up. So the case supposedly has enough for 2 charges of the headset. So you can charge the headset by itself and get it fully charged. And then you can charge the case again. And so you can get 3 full charges out of it. So if you go traveling, you can go quite a while. I, again, don't want to talk on the, what do you even call it? We call it a phone. That's what we call it. But it's fairly comfortable. Looks like a standard Bluetooth headset. It's got the little boomy thing, which doesn't boom. It talks. And it doesn't quite, I don't know, my ear tends to push it out. I'm going to try a different one of because it came with a few different things. This is the smallest silicone one, and maybe the foam one will work better for me. I'm not sure. It just kind of keeps pushing out while I'm talking. The sound is very good, both what I hear and what they hear. There's a mute button on the bottom. Now, one of the problems when I was on the board meetings is on my iPhone, I'd hit the mute button there, and that's pretty obvious. It says it's on mute, but if I'm walking around, I put it back in my holster, and I'm da-da-da-da-da, and then eventually I want to talk, and I pull out, and I hit the mute, and then I talk, and I put it back, and I put it back in the thing. And the problem with that is simply that sometimes you get paranoid. I do this during meetings. I'll have it and I'll go, did I put it back on mute? I don't know. And then I'll say things like, excuse me, am I on mute? And if nobody responds, then I assume that they're not playing a practical joke on me. But so far, I think once I got into some kind of trouble, because I do occasionally make smart-ass remarks during phone calls. If something is suits me as smart-ass capable at that particular moment. But this one has, because this is really controlling the mute instead of the phone, when you hit the button here on this one, it the voice pops up and it says mute on, or if you click it off, it says mute off. But unfortunately what it does is it also cancels out what you're listening to at that moment. So you just have that moment where she's talking to you and you can't hear what the people in the thing are saying, and you're trying to build into something. And it is at least it's very quick, because it's not like you don't have to wait for it to say mute off before you're talking again. I did discover that one. I can just click it and start talking, and provided that it's actually off, and that I pay attention to make sure that it's off and not on, and etc. It did work. It worked very well. It was very well. So I'm generally pleased with it. I didn't want to have to buy it, but it just really was the most practical solution to these phone calls. So that's it. That's what I got. I've already shown this to you once. I got that. I had the isolation shield, and basically I got nothing for Tedium Unlimited 200 that's worth. Oh, there's the lights. See, they're blinking. They're showing me what the charge status is. And close it up, carry it away in a nice safe case. It's very good, and that's where you charge it up. A little standard micro USB port, and I think that's a button to tell you the charge level. Yep. Oh, see, I could have made the lights beep for you. 3 beeps. That's mostly full, which is pretty good, actually. So, anyway, Tedium Unlimited, number 200. Came and went with sort of sorry about that. I'll try to come up with something exciting. Got some trips next month. Maybe that'll cover it. Gallifrey 1, Camp Quest Summit. Exciting times. You can hear me complain about plane travel. Well, only when the Camp Quest. We're driving to California, so it could be another bathroom floor tour. Did I do the bathroom floor tour? I did the bathroom floor tour on Facebook. I don't know if I did the bathroom floor tour of California on Tedium Unlimited. Maybe I should do that. That's what I should do. Now we have a goal. Anyway, don't miss the Tedium Unlimited bathroom floor tile tour of California coming up. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. What else could I take video of? Not just bathroom tiles. Think about that.